Brett, do you have any guidance for Nicole about the dress code and handbook questions that she had?
Yeah, when we talked about that a little bit before as well, she and I met a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago about that. Yeah, it's, and like I talked to her, it's tricky, and again, it's like Sabrina just said about it, it's not just here. One of the situations, especially in the older grades, is consistency. You know, and I don't want to throw any teacher or support staff member, anybody under the bus, but the hard thing is, like, and I think you gave the example, if somebody's been to 3 or 4 classes, then all of a sudden at lunchtime or 4th hour, they get sent to the bus, they're like, well, it's been fine all day, what's the problem now? So, and I know our principals are doing a nice job with it as far as talking about consistency of staff meetings and things like that. So that's just the biggest thing, is to continue to revisit it. But it's tricky. And I guess to one person's idea of appropriate may be different than another person's, but we just have to do the best we can. So, but that's a.
But Brett, how is it concerned? How is it addressed? Because, for instance, this week I walked in the high school, and a young woman walked out, a student, and her skirt barely came to the bottom of her buttocks. About 6 inches of her midriff showed. Pretty much should have been a sports bra. And you can't tell me that should be allowed in the classroom and throughout the day. So obviously she went throughout the day like that because she was leaving school like that. We need to prevent that from even entering the district. That is not acceptable. We shouldn't have to be concerned if a young woman is making sure her legs are crossed so nothing is shown.
Right.
We need to keep things appropriate. They are children.
Right. What's your suggestion? Because that's what we talk about. We talk about.
Right.
I know Joe and Dan talk about it all the time. So, what do you have a suggestion? Maybe do we have a drive at the door? Yeah.
Yep. Yep. It just seems that as time goes on, and I'm not blaming this on the administrators at all, but each year in the district, it seems to get worse. Society thinks it's okay. It's not okay. So we need to start placing those boundaries now. One thing leads to another. So what can we do now so that it does not progressively get worse? We need to set examples for these young women especially. What is and is not appropriate. Because some may not have that role model at home to help with that guidance of what is not appropriate. So what can we do? It's just, it needs to be stopped. It should not be allowed in our district.
You know, so it's not just females,
Right.
but both males and females. For sure.
I get that. But when you have middle school boys who are walking in for practice and you have young women who are barely covered up, it's pretty much what they could wear to a beach. What can we do to stop this?
Okay, people, please.
Well, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying, and I know we've talked about it, and I think Mr. Skidmore talked about it, and I guess if we have people stationed at the door, and, you know, we can do all we can about it.
Right.
It's not that we're promoting it, for sure. And I've been a couple different places, and this is an issue everywhere, where it's consistency. We just need to really
Right.
talk about consistency. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes males, and I have been in this position as well, are very uncomfortable with saying to a female, there's way too much of this showing, because why are you looking for that? So
Right.
that's
Yep.
a real thing. That's
Yep.
a real thing. And so I know there's been times I've had to pull a female counselor, and when I've been a high school principal, to say, can you please talk to so-and-so about
Yep.
this? So, but, yeah, it's not something we can know now, but it's something that we'll make sure that we'll keep an eye on, and then Mr. Aiken, Mr. Simon, will,
Yep.
keep an eye on that for sure.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good idea.
So, Brett, another.
What's that, Tracy? There you go.
another,
Good suggestion.
okay, please, Tracy, please, you've had your time. I got it. Brett, another